We have two clients teaming together here locally. They really amazing. We have one is Conrad and Hinkle. You know, I do endorsements.
It's a grocery, but they're kind of known for a couple of things.
Well, their
specialty is pimento cheese.
Exactly. So they teamed up with a restaurant called Biscuit King,
home of the Ginormous
Biscuit, and they now have a biscuit with pimento cheese. They combined
like worlds colliding.
Yeah, the Ginormous Biscuit with the Conrad and Hinkle pimento cheese.
Yeah, they tore a hole in the universe.
Right, they did. So they have it.
It's the Big Bang.
And I've tried each separately, but never together.
That's right.
Today's that day.
Today is that day. They're bringing them in. So in the meeting that we have on Tuesdays that Dave and I attend, things like this go through the meeting. And our sales executive said, y'all, they want to bring in pimento cheese biscuits and have you eat them. And I, true to form, said, Chris Demm doesn't like pimento cheese.
God, what?
And our sales executive said, I know.
Oh, no, she's not tearing her hair out.
I don't know what to do.
Can he just hold it for a minute? No, he won't get within 5 feet of it.
No, he won't even take a picture with it.
And the littlest patriot said, have him discreetly spit it in the wastebasket.
That'll look great.
Yeah.
There are cameras all around us. That's not going to work.
She said, it's got to be on camera. And the littlest patriot said, have him spit it in the wastebasket.
No, he's got to swallow it.
But I was right on it. I said, Chris Demm doesn't like pimento cheese.
I learned that about 10 years ago at a Pimento Cheese Festival. We went together.
He doesn't like pimento cheese. He won't eat pimento cheese. And I said, he ain't going to get within 5 feet of that stuff. I can tell you that right now.
This changes everything.
She pulls out a knife, starts sharpening it.
Well,
now I should have. I didn't know. I would have because just yesterday I got some smoked Gouda.
Well, there you are. There you are. And then I said, and you know, Biggie's on a serious health plan. And she goes, oh, no.
My God, I was counting on him to eat too.
Oh. She's rending her garments.
No. I said, I don't think.
Hey, you should. If he eats pimento cheese, it's a spiral.
I said he can't have
the gateway. The gateway cheese.
Plus the Ginormous biscuit. I said, you can't put a Ginormous biscuit in front of this man right now.
Do you have any biscuits made of zucchini?
They don't make a zucchini biscuit.
Is that a cauliflower biscuit?
Cauliflower biscuit would be good.
So we went down and just back and forth. It took a half hour to parse this out, but it looks like I'll be trying the Ginormous for the team. And Dave, you're welcome to it if you want to.
I'll take a bite of yours.
Okay.
Which one is Dave? Is he on the show?
Yeah, he's
so is it possible that somewhere right now a pimento cheese maker is scooping out the freshest pimento cheese there is in North Carolina?
That's right.
Somewhere there's a biscuit maker patting out a biscuit.
Rolling the dough. That's right.
And then somewhere they're going to meet, put the two together, and drive it 60 minutes.
Correct. They're going to meet in Archdale.
One biscuit.
That's right. They're meeting in Archdale. They're coming together. They're putting one on top of the other, and they're driving it stacked over here. And we will have it in 90 minutes.
Will there be a motorcade?
Yes.
There'll be a motorcade. There'll be a hot bag.
Clear the highways.
I thought Chris Demm didn't like pimento cheese. He doesn't.
There's just one. They're all going to share. Hungover Dave will take a bite. We know.
Get in my belly.
That's right. That's right. So that's coming up. But I just wanted you to know it was a painstaking process.
I had no idea.
It didn't used to be that way.
No, it was a painstaking process. But now I do love both the biscuits and the pimento cheese.
Yeah. Who don't?
And I said to our sales executive, I'm on a diet too. And she goes, well, you're just going to have to get off it for 5 minutes.
Right.
And I said, okay. But what'll happen. I'll eat that whole biscuit because I like them so much. There's that's really two great tastes.
You should have told her, we're going to have to lock Biggie in his room.
I know. We're going to have to. I just wanted to warn you that would be happening.
It's coming.
Yes, and it's right here. This dovetails perfectly into this. Now, usually you don't get this kind of candor from a play-by-play announcer, but the Cleveland Guardians had a game 2 nights ago, and they were talking about one of their players. He's not with the team right now, Miguel Sano, and he is back in Florida training for an injury. But the play-by-play guys for the Guardians say, it's really not an injury.
Miguel Sano, he's not hurt. He's just fat. I mean, that's as brutally honest as we can be. He's down in Fort Myers trying to get in shape.
So,
Well,
there you have it.
is it not true?
Maybe true.
Can they enter that into the scorecard?
This is not really.
Did not play. Fat.
Miguel Sano, he's not hurt. He's just fat.
It's fat shaming. I mean, and right up front, right in your face about it.
Blatant.
Yeah, he's not hurt. There's no injury there. It's just fat. He's back in Fort Myers.
Yeah, they wrote down knee injury, but we know why his knee hurts.
I think we have finally found what you would be like as a broadcaster.
You think?
Yeah, that'd be you.
I tell you what, I saw a thing the other day. It was the anniversary of the O.J. Simpson Bronco chase. This has recently passed. I think it's been 28 years since the O.J. Simpson. My wife sent me a heart emoji and said 28 years.
It's a special day in your house.
Yeah.
It's on her calendar.
We bond over those kinds of things. She's a big time fan of true crime.
Her password isn't Brentwood to all of her devices.
I can't say. But ESPN re-aired something. It's a 30 for 30. It's called June 17th, 1994. It's a 1-hour documentary. Have you seen it? It's good.
Yeah, really good.
It's excellent. It came out a few years ago, but they re-aired it on that day, and it happened to be on. I was like, okay, I'm going to watch this. I'd seen it once before. It's a 1-hour documentary of everything going on in sports on that day, but it's dominated by the O.J. Simpson Bronco chase.
Because it broke into an NBA
Finals
game.
They had to, NBC. That's the best part of it because they have Bob Costas not on camera, but talking to the director like, this is awkward no matter what I do. He's like, I don't know how to segue.
It's not on the air?
No, it's not on the air. He's like, I don't know how to segue from Brokaw, who was doing the news, into this. Like, this is a basketball game. People weren't even watching the basketball game. They were watching the O.J. Simpson.
How big it was.
Oh, big ain't even the word. But anyway.
Ginormous is the
word. So... And Dave doesn't even like OJ. Okay. So they go from sporting event to sporting event. It was also Arnold Palmer's final round ever in the U.S. Open. That was going on at the same time.
That I did not know.
Okay, so they're showing Arnold Palmer. The New York Rangers had just won the Stanley Cup for the first time in 50-some years, so they had their parade that day. So that was going on. So all these huge sports events, and the World Cup soccer tournament started that day in the United States at several stadiums. So tons of things are going on, and there's no narrator, there's no interview. They just bebop from place to place to place to place. And Ken Griffey Jr. had some monster game at baseball. But here's the whole point. This guy, this baseball announcer,
Miguel Sano, he's not hurt. He's just fat.
Now, he says this, and when I heard that, I was like, boy, you just don't say that about people anymore. You just don't say, oh, he's fat. I don't know if this guy got in any trouble for that or not. But when I was watching that documentary, this was 1994, they had the play-by-play of the Mariners game, and the Mariners were playing at home against the Angels or somebody. And the play-by-play guy goes, hey, man, to his color commentator, he goes, did you hear OJ's playing in the U.S. Open? And the guy goes, no, I didn't hear that. And he goes, yeah, he's got 2 under. And I thought to myself,
now that's...
I just looked at the TV, and my son said, did that dude get fired? No, because we were watching it together. He goes,
no, son, back then we high-fived.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. I said, that is low, man. I mean, on the bodies have been in the ground like 2 days.
Yeah.
You know, he goes, yeah, he's got 2 under. And then he goes,
3 and 2. Here's Ken Griffey Jr. Everyone loves the kid.
Yeah. And I said, and my son said that dude had to get fired. And I said, I doubt it back then.
How long was the actual? Do you know how long the actual chase was? The drive.
Now
I don't know where they left. I know where they ended up.
It was a few hours.
At home.
It was a couple hours, I believe. I know. I chronicle my day. Can I tell you my O.J. Simpson story?
I guess.
Now, my wife and I really bonded over this. You know, we met on a blind date a few years later, and we were comparing notes. We both knew the exact date of every instance of the O.J., from the trial to the verdict, all of it, to the car chase, every bit of it. Well, I worked on a different radio show at the time, and the guy who was in charge of the show, his name was Jack Murphy. He was my idol, my mentor, legend in this business. And I came in one day. Now, the murders happened on a Sunday night, and I just saw on CNN on a crawl, they were like, O.J. Simpson's ex-wife was murdered along with Ron Goldman. And I was like, oh, man, that's too bad for O.J. That's what everybody thought. That's too bad, And so we get to work. It wasn't even big news. It was just like someone that O.J. used to be married to was murdered. And so a couple of days later, I see Jack Murphy reading the newspaper. This is probably Wednesday. And he looked down over the paper, folded the paper down, he looked over, and he goes, Chris, I think O.J. killed his wife. And I said, you are out of your mind. There is no way O.J. Simpson killed his wife.
He's an all-star.
That simply did not happen. Right, exactly. And he goes, I'm telling you, I'm reading this. I think he did. They're talking to him. And I said, impossible. And I said, I stake my reputation on it. That might have been the start of the Kelly curse right there. That might have been it. That might have been the germ of it right there. That was 1994, okay? And I said, you're out of your mind. Now, let me go get the chuckle chatter for the day. That's what we used to do, chuckle chatter.
Chuckle chatter?
Yeah, we had a couple of jokes, a couple of stand-up comedians. He goes, what's on chuckle chatter? And I was like, I don't know. It's Jerry Seinfeld.
It's an O.J. Simpson joke, but that's you don't like that.
Yeah.
He's playing the U.S. Open. So
he sliced a few.
Yeah.
and then
A lot of Cosby jokes. We'll get those.
and then
Cosby hot.
on Friday, when I got home, now here my routine was go to Chicken and Pickles, load up, take a long nap. I was going to get up and watch the NBA game that night. And I went to sleep. I turned on the TV at like noon, and so they broke in, and Tom Brokaw said, they're going to arrest O.J. Simpson. And I said, no, they are not. I looked at him. I said, that
early in the day?
Yeah, it was early.
Okay.
It was early afternoon.
East Coast.
They said O.J.'s going to turn himself in. He was supposed to do it like 9 a.m. or 11 a.m. West Coast time. And they said, O.J.'s going to turn himself in. And I turned the TV off and said, I can't believe this. And I went to sleep. And when I woke up 6 hours later, ready for the NBA game, I flip on the TV, and there's an overhead shot of that vehicle. What? And instantly I knew.
Was it in motion or it
was in motion. And I said, that's O.J. I said, that is O.J. Simpson. It was incredible. What a day that was.
OJ gave him the old, I'll meet you there.
Yeah, he did.
I may have to stop and get gas.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Okay, Juice, you want to ride with us? I'm going to go. You go ahead.
I'll catch a ride with AC.
Yeah. You got me.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's a very
Let's
big
see,
move.
where's my passport and gun?
That's a big
And
move.
you've seen the Bronco with
I've
your
seen
own
the Bronco.
eyes?
I know.
Yeah.
And my wife
Was
said
that a month ago?
Yeah, on the day of the anniversary of the chase, my wife set her picture in front of the actual Bronco with a heart emoji.
They keep it in Tennessee.
Is she on the hood like a pinup girl?
They keep it in Tennessee.
I just had a brilliant idea. And I don't know if it can be done. I did a quick search. Look at that.
I just showed my wife's picture with the Bronco.
I've never seen her happier.
Wow.
That's a Pigeon Forge.
And I was at her wedding.
I know. We should compare that to her wedding photo. That's in Pigeon Forge. They keep the Bronco in Pigeon Forge, like most great things.
Of course.
Like the Titanic Museum and all. Yes, please.
I just looked. I don't know. It says he's there, but I couldn't find him. I think the ultimate anniversary gift is a cameo from OJ to your wife.
Whoa. But I can't put money in his pocket. I just can't do that.
I mean, we can talk off air. You will.
That's blood money.
But that would be...
That's blood.
That would be the gift. I mean, she would tear up.
God, she's got a milestone birthday this year, too.
Yeah.
No.
I couldn't find him when I just went to Cameo, but it says OJ joins Cameo. So I don't know if he was chased off, but
I bet he was.
You think?
Yeah, because anytime he tweets, we've played his tweets before. Every comment below is just like
Murder, murder.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, Juice, get off Twitter. I mean, he must not read his comments because they just
or he does and he just
He
doesn't.
doesn't care.
Dang,
Man, what if that's how we found out you did pay him? Hey, Twitter world! I got a very special birthday.
Oh God!
Happy birthday! No! I wanted a private juice.
Please,
Said she has a milestone birthday. There's a picture in front of me in an old car I used to drive.
I know that.
She's a fan from way back, it appears.
No, Juice. That was a DM.
So, all right.
All right.
Let me tell you how this show started, Dave. I'm so slumped.
This show, okay.
This
Speaking
show.
of going back in time,
This is back in time now. I want your honest opinion on this. Here's how it started. Last night, stayed up very late, had some work to do, pickled till late in the evening. I'm in a mood. I'm in a mood already.
Yeah.
Get an email from a guy named Vic who says, I'm a P1. I pay for your behind-the-scenes paywall.
That's on you, brother.
That's what I said. And he's like, I love it. He said, I love it. He goes, I was listening to a segment you all had 16 years ago. I remember the segment. He's it's about bad hospital visits. One guy called, had been in a terrible bicycle accident, and had a bad visit to the hospital. Very funny call. And he says at the end, here's my question. What has happened to you, man, through the years? Because your voice from then to now, all the life has been sucked out of it.
what's the phrase? The hammer of life beat you down?
Right. And I was so mad. I wrote him back and I said, my voice sounds exactly the same! Exclamation.
I am a professional.
Sent it off and then blocked him so I couldn't hear his reply.
Yeah.
Which was wrong. It was an instant knee-jerk reaction. So this morning, I said to Biggie, we're going to need this old phone call from 16 years ago. See if you can find it.
Didn't tell Biggie why.
Didn't tell Biggie why. I said, it's about hospitals. It's about a bad hospital visit. So Biggie diligently goes after it, looks through the files.
OJ jokes.
Cosby, Louis C.K.
And then he goes, got it. I said, okay. I said, listen to it. Give me a little play-by-play of what the content is. And he calls back in and he said, man, it's a really funny call. And then he said, I don't know what's happened to your voice, but you sound so much younger.
Biggie piles on.
That call. And he didn't even know it was
Unbeknownst.
piling. Here's the call. Okay, this was from 16 years ago. A bad hospital experience. Now, let's everybody listen with a critical ear to how much younger, if at all, than I sound.
Okay, I've got a hospital story for you.
Yes.
Okay, I'm an avid mountain biker. We were up in western North Carolina in June of 2004, way out in the middle of nowhere in DuPont State Forest. Okay, I go down on my mountain bike and receive a severe blow to my abdomen, right about my belt line, beside my navel. Okay, it doesn't puncture me, but a few minutes later, my stomach starts swelling. So long story short, we get to the first hospital in Brevard. They do a CT scan, send me to Asheville, and they're all waiting on me. I mean, I'm dying. I mean, my belly's swollen, my blood pressure is 60/28.
So you're actually dying. Your blood pressure has dropped that low.
Yeah.
And are you in severe pain or are you out of it?
All right, let's stop the call.
Hell of a story. But my goodness.
I think they sped the tape up. I think the tape is sped up. That's what
Just for your part?
I think just for my part.
Yeah.
They made you sound like that?
They made me sound like that.
We couldn't do that back then.
Does your stomach hurt? How about your abdomen?
Wow.
60/20. Goodness, that's low.
They sped me up. They sped me up.
Yeah, I was in and out. I was going into shock.
Okay.
I think they call it hemorrhagic shock.
Okay.
Okay, we get to Asheville. They had called for a helicopter, but they had to send the helicopter back because of a storm. So they put me on the ground. We get there.
Can you ride your bike to the hospital? Look, I noticed you pulled up on one.
Well, I would have if I could have.
Do you mind our helicopter doesn't go
Yeah, the
out
helicopter
in the
can't fly.
And anyways, we get to the hospital, and it's just like ER on TV. There's like 10 of these people all scrubbed up and ready. They know I'm coming. They know how bad it was, and I'm laying here on the table, and they're all working on me, putting tubes in my nose and down my throat and putting needles in my thighs to rush blood into me and everything. And you know those hooks up on the ceiling, where they hook the IV bags and things too.
Yeah.
And, they were putting these really big IV bags, not the normal size like you see somebody laying in a hospital bed. And, there's this little effeminate male nurse, and he goes up to, and I'm looking at him, as he's doing it, and he goes up to hang this bag on the ceiling by one of those hooks. Well, he thinks he has it hooked. Well, he does not. And this big-ass heavy bag falls from the ceiling and lands directly on my abdomen.
Which, of course, is in pain and killing you at the time.
And so, I nearly died, and they nearly killed me anyway. So somehow I found all the strength I had in my left hand, and I balled up my fist, and I hit this guy right there.
The effeminate male nurse?
Yeah, with everything I had, and it knocked him down against the wall, and after that they put me in restraint. And the next thing I know, I wake up, in the ER after surgery, and I was still alive. But it turned out my mesenteric artery was severed and it torn my small bowel. And
damn!
Lost like 9 units of blood and nearly died. But I'm fine now and back on the mountain bike.
Thank God. See, if I were you, I'd never get back on a bike again. That'd be it for me.
Sounds the exact same. Sounds the exact same.
Never get back on the bike.
Here again.